Hey guys, hope you are having a great day so far. So, I've got something really good that we're going to be discussing today. You know, in politics right now, there's the debate on shutdown and who caused it, why is it happening, what does it mean? And we've got an excellent video from, it looks to be Forbes. This is on their actual page, Senator John Kennedy, who he's just basically a good old boy. He's got such his accuracy for describing things is unparalleled. Like he tells things exactly as they are. He doesn't spare the truth. He says exactly what he thinks, and he's gone viral on YouTube a ton of times. So if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel to get updated with information like this. And we're gonna go ahead and get started here. So just take a look at this. I mean, this is absolutely insane. His accuracy and what he describes, it's so good.
Well, the shutdown melodrama continues.
Love this boy. Yeah.
I love the smell of melodrama in the morning. It smells like the United States Senate. I said the other day that this shutdown is just further proof that human evolution is a slow process.
Well said, brother.
This shutdown, what you're witnessing now, is just further proof of why it took human beings thousands of years to learn how to stand upright. This shutdown is bone deep, down to the marrow, stupid. Some shutdowns are based on policy.
He didn't spare his words there, did he?
Some shutdowns are based on politics.
That's right.
Some shutdowns are based on a combination of both.
Brother, tell us which one this is.
This
all
one
know.
is pure. It's pure as ivory snow. This shutdown is based on politics.
Ain't no doubt about it.
Let me
Ain't
tell you
no
what's
doubt.
going on.
Let's go.
I believe in a two-party system, Mr. President. Why? Because two parties create competition.
That's
and
right.
And competition makes all of us better.
One party's an echo chamber. Two parties is
the
debate.
Democratic Party, the opposite of my party, the Republican Party. The Democratic Party is competing within itself right now.
That's right. Civil war.
And there is a distinct wing of the Democratic Party that is winning that competition. If I wanted to use a pejorative expression, I would call it the loon wing of the party. The loon wing of the Democratic Party. Or you might call it the Bolshevik wing of the Democratic Party.
The Bolshevik.
I think a more accurate description is to call it the socialist wing of the Democratic Party.
I think that's more accurate.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, that is fair.
Now, I'm not saying that all of my Democratic friends are socialists. But there is clearly a wing of the Democratic Party that can only be described accurately as the socialist wing of the party. And that party is in ascendancy. That party is in control.
And have been for the last decade.
Now, my friend Senator Schumer is the leader of the Democrats in the United States Senate. And he, of course, has instructed his colleagues to vote to shut down government. And Senator Schumer has been criticized for that.
I think Schumer's scared to death of the people above
I don't
him.
agree with him. I think he made a mistake.
I do too.
But I don't think Senator Schumer is the leader of this effort.
Oh, absolutely not.
I don't.
I think he's being pressured, honestly.
I think Senator Schumer, like many of his colleagues, would like to be loved by everybody in the party and he
That's
would
just
like
not
to be
possible.
loved by the socialist wing of his party. And I do think that's part of what is motivating this shutdown, and that's why I say it's all about politics.
That's right.
But I don't think Senator Schumer is the person in charge,
No, not at all.
because Senator Schumer is not the leader of the socialist wing of his party. Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez is.
Yeah, AOC, by the way.
She's running the show.
She's
There was
pure
no
evil.
accident the other day. The Congresswoman let it slip. She said, if you really want to negotiate at the end of this shutdown,
Come to my office.
come see me.
Yep.
Come see me.
And
And I think any fair-minded person has to look right now and say that the two leading members, the quarterback, the two leading members of the socialist wing of the Democratic Party, the quarterback is Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. Now, her substitute is Senator Bernie Sanders. But I think it's...
just real quick, we know for sure Nancy Pelosi is like the head of all of these insane people. Like she's one of the big shot callers, right? And she got confronted by a news outlet that basically said AOC's in charge. Is that right? And she goes, that's absolutely preposterous. She's a team player. We love her, blah, blah, blah. But Hakeem Jeffries is spearheading the movement. So this is from Nancy Pelosi. Now, we know Democrats mostly, even though they're at civil war, I'd say 90% of what I've seen are verified liars, to where I can literally pull 10 to 15 clips of them saying something, and I can play another clip of them lying and saying something else about the same topic. It's just, I can't do that with many other people in the Republican Party. There's a few I can, and I tend not to listen to them, but a majority, if we're talking about just like anecdotally, I can legitimately, most everyone that's well known in the Democratic Party right now, I can actually do that. So, and you know, it's already been verified by Nancy Pelosi that AOC is not in charge. She's just batcrap crazy, and she thinks she's in control. But Nancy says, no, this thing's a Hakeem Jeffries deal and Chuck Schumer. So
the Congresswoman
let's continue.
who's calling these shots.
It's not. It's Hakeem.
Now, Mr. President,
Dallas
I don't
door,
hate
Barack
anybody.
Obama.
I've said that repeatedly, and I mean it. I like all of my colleagues. I look for grace wherever I can find it. When I say my prayers,
That's good. I love
I do.
that.
Every single time, I ask God, don't let me hate, because it's hard sometimes.
I
It's hard.
absolutely love that.
But I do.
Don't
I say,
let me
God,
hate.
don't let me hate. And
And by the way, I'm not trying to shove Christianity down your throats. If you're not a Christian, I would love to pray for you. I want you to see the peace that I've seen in my life with my family and my prayers. Just how many of them have been answered, and how many times I've been saved from catastrophic things. Just some people say pure coincidence. I don't buy that. But just as a Christian, like, he's bringing up something powerful there. In the Bible, Jesus says, love your neighbor as yourself. He also says, if you anger at a brother, you are guilty of murder in the eyes of God Almighty. So what's really powerful here is that not only is he saying he prays, but he has the biblical wisdom to know, not only do I pray, but let me not hate. He's fully encapsulating love my neighbor and pray for my enemies and be slow to anger. All of those are extremely good foundational biblical truths, which is just really cool. And like I said, if you're not a Christian, I'm not trying to offend here. It's just really cool that not only is he talking the talk, he's walking the walk as well.
I certainly don't hate Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez. I
Let's
want to
turn
make that
on this
very clear.
light.
She has
Get
the
some vibes
right
going.
to her opinion. She
There we
has
go.
the right to try to have the socialists take over the Democratic Party. That's the American way. Ironically, I think what she's doing is anti-American, but she
I
has the
agree.
right as an American to do it, so I don't hate her.
No, I
But
don't
I
hate her
judge
either.
her by her policy. She has her opinion, and I have mine. And I have.
And also in Christianity, it says you will be judged on the fruit you bear. And AOC's fruit is that of lying and deception and of manipulation and of anger.
Have to judge her
But we still pray
candidly
for
by
her.
her policy. Here is what the socialist wing of the Democratic Party, led by Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez,
Just say
has
AOC.
said to the American people and to the United States Congress and the Republicans in Congress. If you Republicans don't agree to make the federal government $1.5 trillion, not million dollars, not billion dollars, $1.5 trillion bigger,
That's absurd.
we're going to shut government down.
And by the way, guys, that's
Well, of
called
course we said
terrorism.
no.
Do what I say, or
I'm not going to vote
this.
for that.
That's terrorism.
My mother
Fear-backed
didn't
behavior.
raise a fool. And as I've said before, if she did, it was one of my brothers. I'm never going to vote for that.
No, no Republican
Now,
will.
where do I come up with this figure of $1.5 trillion? Well, the first thing that the socialists and Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez is asking us to do is to repeal the health care reforms in the One Big Beautiful Bill. We just passed them.
So basically,
We
they
just
just
passed-
passed them, and she's trying to say, take all that away. Get rid of this part of the big beautiful bill. Just defund it, delegitimize it, pretend it didn't happen. The thing is, and Trump knows this, and Vance knows this, and Kennedy knows this, even if you shut down government, the big beautiful bill being signed into law is the engine to power all of Trump's agenda. So even if government is shut down, Trump still has full rights to carry out the bill because it is now a law. Okay? So regardless of shutdown, it's not going to affect the Republicans hardly at all. I would argue that this domestic terrorism that these Democrats, these socialists are playing is actually only going to severely hurt their Democratic base even further. It's not enough that they shot up the ICE building. It's not enough that Charlie Kirk was assassinated. It's not enough that they tried to kill President Trump. It's not enough that they say, we don't support that, but also all Republicans are Nazi and fascists. It's not enough that Antifa is going around killing Trump supporters because of the Democratic rhetoric saying all Trumpers are fascists. All right? It's just not enough. They also want to blackmail us into doing all this. And if we don't, guess what? We'll shut the government down. Because believe it or not, guys, government, they have to come to a bipartisan agreement. They need 7 Democratic voters. They need 7 to pass in order to get this funding going. And they could not secure 7, so government does have to shut down. But Trump is in an extremely powerful position. His engine that makes his agenda work is fully in effect and signed into law. So regardless of what happens with government, Trump is still, it doesn't bother him at all. And he's like, you Democrats, if you want to play this way, that's fine, but realize you're not hurting me. You're not hurting anyone under me. You're hurting you guys. You guys are going to be the ones to pay for this.
Here it is, Subtitle B, Health in the One Big Beautiful Bill.
I've read
Now,
the whole
we didn't cut
bill,
Medicaid
by
in
the
One
way.
Big Beautiful Bill. In fact, under our bill, Medicaid is going to increase 2%
It was
a
long.
year over the next 10 years.
That's right.
Now, what we did by reforming Medicaid, which Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez wants us to reverse,
Just say
we
Cortez.
cut out the waste and the fraud. For example, we found out that there are, no kidding, I'm not just making this up,
This
we
is some
found
of
out
Doge's
that
stuff.
there are 2.8 million people on Medicaid who are double dipping in America. They're either signing up for Medicaid in Louisiana and Mississippi, double dipping, or they're signing up for Medicaid in Louisiana and they're signing up for the Obamacare subsidies. That's called cheating.
Oh, man,
Our
I should have
bill
done that. Wink.
Would put an end to that. And it would save about $140 billion on 10 years. The socialist wing of the Democratic Party and a Congresswoman, okay,
Listen to that. That'll save 140 billion over 10 years. That's 14 billion a year. That's free, by the way. And that's not a small. Imagine what you can do with 14 billion with a B dollars, just free. And you still run the same services, you still have the same portion of government. This is just free extra money. It's just sitting there by dealing with this. Why is that a bad thing? That's phenomenal. Whoa.
Ocasio-Cortez wants us to reverse that. The
Why?
second thing we did in our health
The
care
question is,
reforms
what's the
in the
agenda?
one big beautiful bill is to say you've got to stop lying when you apply for Medicaid. Under President Obama, we had virtually no eligibility checks. People could walk in and the Medicaid folks would say, how much do you make a year? And they could say $30,000 a year. And they'd say, okay, you qualify.
Instead of them actually making
I trust
100K.
people. I've said it before on this floor. I play cards with my friends all the time. They're friends. I cut the cards anyway. We have found, for example, just in Louisiana, we did a statistical sample of the people on Medicaid in Louisiana. Our auditors found 1,600 people on Medicaid making $100,000 a year or more. That's cheating.
That's cheating.
So
Yeah.
our bill put an end to that. Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez and the socialist wing of the Democratic Party want us to put it back. They want to let people cheat.
Imagine that,
What
huh?
else are the socialists asking for in this $1.5 trillion?
I know
They're saying we don't.
I know the video's a little offset, but they switched the camera angle, so let me scoot it over just a little bit here. Maybe you can see them a little bit better. No, okay, it's not working. We'll just have to deal with it, sorry.
Want people who can work to work.
I'm not good at tech.
We put a provision in our bill that the Congresswoman and the socialist wing of her party want us to take out that says, look, if you're between the ages of 19 and 64,
Whoa, that's a big range.
and you're able-bodied, we're not talking about a mother with a sick child in her arms, you're able-bodied, you're perfectly healthy, and you don't have any dependent kids at home, then if you qualify based on income, we'll give you Medicaid, but you have to work. You have to work 20
Amen.
hours a week or go to school 20 hours a week or do community service 20 hours a week, because the free enterprise system, jobs, have done more to lift people out of poverty than all the social programs put together.
Oh, amen.
That's
Holy
what's called
moly.
a work requirement.
Yep, yep.
What's wrong with that? Those who can't work should work. Our welfare programs were meant to be bridges, not parking lots.
Yeah.
Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez and the socialist wing of her party want us to reverse.
We
all of
want
that.
to give free entitlement programs
What,
paid for by the taxpayer forever.
What
And we
else
don't want
do
them
they
ever
want
to
us
get
to do?
off Medicaid and welfare. We want them to stay there forever.
Well, they're upset at us
Which, why is that a good thing?
over the
I have to work 40, 60 hours a
Affordable
week.
Care Act.
Why do they get to sit at
Now,
home
let
and
me
make
tell you
more
what
than
all
me?
this is about with the Affordable Care Act. Under Obamacare, if you are a low-income American, you're entitled to Medicaid. If you are a middle-income American, you have a job, then chances are you get insurance through your employer.
That's
Most
right.
people do.
Yeah.
But if you're in the middle, you make a little more money than the poverty level, but you can't get insurance through your employer. We provide what's called the Obamacare exchanges. So when we talk about the Obamacare subsidies, that's what we're talking about. It's about 24 million people.
Right.
And it was meant for lower income people.
That's right.
Up until 2019, it was all for low-income people. And then in 2019, without any Republican votes, President Obama said, look, we're in a pandemic. We're going to raise the limit. We're going to say there are no income limits on Obamacare
That's
paid
right.
for by the taxpayer.
Yep.
We've got 24 million people on Obamacare. When they raised the limits, you can make any amount of money and still get a subsidy.
That's
That
insane.
added about 1.6 million people on Obamacare. Obamacare was meant for people who make from roughly $30,000 a year to $130,000 a year, families of four.
That's right.
Now, because President Biden raised the cap. We've got people making $600,000 a year,
Still on it, yeah.
$150,000 a year, families making $200,000 a year, getting subsidies from the American taxpayer.
Like, I don't know about you guys, but like if I go to the doctor, it's like, do I eat this month? Like, do I want to fix my broken leg or do I want to eat? Or do I go to the doctor and risk having to go see a specialist? Or if I have skin cancer, like, can I afford to spend the hundred and some odd dollars? Because I don't have health insurance. I can't afford it. It's actually so dadgum expensive. Just having a bare bones plan is not even worth it for me because the out of pocket amount will almost be the exact same as I pay monthly as much as I would use it. So I might as well just not even have it, to be honest. But then you go to the doctor's office, that'll be $100. I was only there 10 minutes. Yeah, that'll be 100. Okay, well we need to biopsy this thing to make sure it's not skin cancer. Okay. Well, that'll be another $60, $70. Okay, well, now that we've got it back, it does look like it's cancer. We need to surgically remove it. Okay, how much is that? That'll be $500. Okay, well, now we need to schedule it. Okay, so we schedule it. Then what? Well, you need to come back to make sure we don't get any more. It's not growing back. Okay, so how much am I out? That'll be $2,000, please. Just let me die. Just let me die. You guys care for people who don't work so much, Democrats. I'm someone who busts my butt and I can't even afford to take the skin cancer off my ear. I can't even afford to take a dump and afford toilet paper, okay? Got to wipe with my hand. This is ridiculous.
Why? Because they said we needed it in the pandemic. The pandemic is over. And that's why the Democrats, when they passed the bill, put in a provision that says at the end of this year, those extra subsidies are going to end. Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez says no.
No.
Until you agree to let them continue.
Terrorism.
To let anybody at any income level
do what I say or
subsidies,
die.
We're going to shut government down.
Yep.
That's their third demand. And that is part of the $1.5 trillion. And finally, of course, the Congresswoman is saying we want you to give $500 billion, not $500,000, not $500 million.
I thought it was 1.5 trillion.
We want you to give $500 billion to the Corporation for Public Broadcasting because we like what they say. Well, we just eliminated money for all forms of media
Public broadcasting,
in the Affordable Care Act. Now, those are the demands. Those are the demands. I'll just mention, I'll mention one more. Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez got very, very upset.
The Democratic Party
the socialist wing of
is
her
going to
party
cease to exist in 10 years if they don't stop this.
What's called a rescission package. Basically, President Trump just said, we want you to take some stuff out of the budget that we think is wasteful. And we did.
Okay.
And that upset the Congresswoman. She's entitled to be upset if she wants to. But that really upset the socialist wing of the party. And so we took out, and here's what they want us to put back in. We found that under President Biden, they were spending $3 million for circumcisions and vasectomies in Zambia.
Man, I could have gotten one.
We took that out. The Congresswoman says, we're going to shut down government until you put that back in. We found $500,000 of American taxpayer money for electric buses in Rwanda.
Electric
buses.
We
found $3.6 million for pastry cooking classes and dance focus groups for male prostitutes in Haiti. I kid you not. I'm not making this up. That was in the budget under President Biden.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me. Does that surprise you, Chad?
Cortez,
I mean, let's
in
be
the
honest.
socialist wing, the loon wing of the Democratic Party, says we're going to shut down government until you put it back in.
Does that
I'll
sound
just read you a few more that we took out. They're demanding we put back in.
Bring more. Bring more.
$6 million for media organizations for the Palestinians. $833,000 for transgender people in Nepal. $300,000 for a pride parade in Lesotho. $882,000 for social media and mentorship in Serbia. $4.2 million. We took it out. The Congresswoman and the socialist wing of their party says we got to put that back in for the open government.
Can you imagine, like, if we took all of this, I call it stupid money. I mean, it's money that the Democrats just, they're writing these checks that they can't cash. You guys are paying for it, by the way. Democrats and Republicans alike. If you pay taxes, this is what your money's going to. Can you imagine if the government actually had a concentrated effort and actually sent that money to American citizens first? I mean, shoes for kids. Let's put, for people who are hungry, let's give them more ramen noodles. Let's, feed them more. Let's donate to the homeless pantry. He's talking about hundreds of millions, tens of millions, five of millions of dollars just being pissed away. It's just being pissed away. So can you imagine if you received $500,000 right now, would that change your life? Oh my goodness, yes. And that doesn't even cover near what they've spent on stupid stuff in other countries. Why are other countries getting our money? That's what I don't understand. If I'm paying my taxes, I don't want it to go to Israel. I don't want it to go to Africa. I don't want it to go to Russia. I want it to stay with me. And, I'm already struggling to eat. I can't even afford health insurance. What makes them think that this is just going to be okay? But for some reason or another, the Democrats are fine with this. They think this is their duty, which I applaud them. It's good to help others, but can we help ourselves first? I mean, we're starving and dying here. I work hard and I can barely feed myself. Throw me a bone first and then give it to Africa. But at least help me first. Let me get my cut.
$4.2 million for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, and intersex people in the Western Balkans and Uganda.
In Uganda.
I could spend the rest of the afternoon here. We took all that out. It upset Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez.
Of course it did.
Upset the socialist wing of her.
The fake liar who lives in a Yorktown, who says she's from the Bronx. She's never even visited the Bronx, come to find out. Benny Johnson did an episode on it, and he destroyed her. She looks like such a dummy, man. I'm not hating on her. I just think she's a vile, despicable liar.
Her party. And now that wing of her party and the Congresswoman are threatening all other Democrats and saying, you've got to shut that government down until we get what we want. And part of what they want is to add this kind of stuff back into the bill.
Sounds like terrorism to me.
And that's what this fight is all about.
Do or die.
We're in the process of negotiating a budget with our Democratic friends.
Which, by the way,
we
failed.
ran out of time. The cutoff was midnight Tuesday night. That's when the clock struck midnight and the budget ran out. What we had asked for and what we're still asking for is let's continue to negotiate, we meaning the Republicans and the Democrats, for 6 more weeks and try to agree on a budget. That's all we're asking.
Table.
We're not asking for any additional appropriations, any conditions, any stipulations. All we're asking for is what we call a clean CR. Mm-hmm. All we're asking for is just further negotiate. And Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, who has done a stellar job in rising to the leadership of her party.
By lying.
As a member of the socialist wing, they're about to elect a socialist mayor of New York. I
That's
think
right.
Mr. Mamdani's going to win. They have
That's
said
great
to our
for
request,
New York because New York is basically going to become a dump. All of the wealthiest people who are supporting New York are going to move out. They've already said that that's going to happen. And New York will not get any funding from President Trump, which I believe is right. And the reason I believe it's right is, why would you give an evil man with an evil agenda funding to do evil things to the people in New York? This guy's coming off like, I'm a self-proclaimed socialist. I believe in socialism. I'm a democratic socialist. That's what I do. And Trump's like, oh, that's so bad. Like, you can't, he's not even trying to hide it. That's the problem. a lot of people hear that and they don't understand the impact of that. Like they hear the word socialist, they think, "Oh, well, I've heard that word before. It's not that bad. It's not fascist or Nazi." So, but the reality is if you haven't researched socialism, you need to start and you need to understand it because the Democrats for the last decade or so have, especially it started with Obama, no doubt about it. It started with the most racist president in history, Obama. Obama basically declared war and and started this racist deal, this transgendered, this, that, and the other, imported millions of immigrants. Even though he did try and get rid of a few immigrants, it never ended up working out. But it just the socialism stuff started around that time that I can remember, and now it's become a common everyday phrase. These guys want to control the world. They don't want to just control the Democratic Party. These people want to control the world. They want to start wars. They want to make money off of other people's sweat and blood and taxpayer money. These people, you just got to pray for them and wish them the best. But like Cortez, she got into that office by lying and cheating and stabbing, and it's just I don't really respect that. It's hard to.
Just continue the status quo for 6 more weeks. They said, we'll give you 6 more weeks
Okay.
if you will give us $1.5 trillion.
$1 trillion. Yep.
That's what they're demanding. And that's why we're shut down. Now, let me say it again, Mr. President. I don't hate anybody. This is America. I sure don't hate the Congresswoman.
That's right.
She is entitled to her opinion, but I'm
I don't
entitled to
either.
mine.
That's right.
And she can criticize my policy positions, but
And I can
I'm entitled
criticize
to
her.
criticize hers.
Right.
And I'm here to tell you, Mr. President, in front of God and country, based on her policy positions
It's evil,
that
man.
she's demanding, based on her policy positions that she is demanding, that I just outlined, $1.5 trillion of pure, unadulterated spending porn. Based on that
I
demand,
love how he said
based
that,
on
spending
her
porn.
policy positions,
That's
the American
exactly what
people
it
are
is.
looking at her and saying, this person has single-handedly put an end to dumb blonde jokes. Because that is the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's insane. It actually
Based
is.
on her policy positions, $1.5 trillion of this kind of spending porn, the American people are looking at the Congresswoman and saying, with respect, she must be bilingual. She must speak English and stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no
And
doubt.
that's why we're not agreeing to it.
She's insane. There's
Now,
no
I
way
hope-
you can be a rational
I know
person if that's what
every
you
one of
think
my
is
Democratic
okay.
colleagues.
It's just
And I know more than half of them
that's insane.
know better.
Yeah,
They know what we're asking
dude.
for is reasonable. I'm just asking them to meet us halfway. We're not asking for any additional provisions. They shouldn't ask for any additional provisions.
Right. It's just as it
And let
was,
us
nothing
just
extra.
open back up and continue to negotiate for 6 weeks.
All right, Chat.
Don't be scared of the Congresswoman.
Yeah. Wow. I got chills listening to Kennedy. The thing I really like about Mr. Kennedy is he does not spare any words. He says everything so eloquently, so kindly, and lovingly. You'll notice he said many times, "I don't hate anyone. If she can criticize my opinion, I can criticize hers. It's America. We'll pray for her, that kind of thing." But he's saying the demands are unreasonable. Like the Republicans in Congress right now, they just want to keep everything as it was. They're not adding anything extra. So it's completely reasonable because that was the budget and the operations that we had previously to keep government open. They're not adding anything extra. They're not demanding anything. It's just as is. Well, the Democrats, AOC and Hakeem Jeffries, are basically trying to bully the ring around to say, okay, well, we know that we can shut government down, but we're going to pretend like it's all your fault. So what we're going to do is, unless you meet our $1.5 trillion demand to give health care to everybody, by the way, and everybody means illegal aliens so that they can gain votes in the next election, which isn't, I mean, they've even come out and said something similar to that. There's clips of several of the Democratic elite mentioning that on accident, tongue tying their words a little bit. We know that's what they're going to do. It's not that they want to give Medicaid or people are being denied Medicaid. That's not what's going on here. They want to remove, just like Kennedy said, the restrictions regardless of income, and they want to put everyone on it, and then they want you, the taxpayer, to pay for it. They're adding all of these provisions that you could stack to the floor and you could paint the ceiling with them, as Kennedy says. So I don't know. I definitely I know that a lot of this content is one side or the other. I'm not trying to be divisive or hateful, but this is the reality of what is going on. Whether it's nice or mean or good or wrong, this is just the reality. I'm not trying to say I'm one way or the other. But reality is that a lot of these demands are quite insane and aggressive and are basically terrorism. The Democrats know that if they don't budge on their positions, even though they've offered, like, hey, we need this and this and this and this on top of what we're already getting, that big, beautiful bill, yeah, just cancel it. And then we'll agree to keep the government open. And they know that. We need 7 votes to keep it open, and they're holding it hostage. So, and when things don't go their way, they had a hissy fit, and they tried to live stream the shutdown, and only like 2 to 3 dozen people tuned in total or showed up total. That was it. And it was such an embarrassment and a flop that Hakeem Jeffries had them cut the live newscast. It was such an embarrassment. They completely misread the room. Most Americans do not agree with this at all. But here's the thing, Democrats: the big, beautiful bill is law. You cannot stop Trump now. No matter how much you hate him, you got to admit he's doing the right thing. The economy is far better than under Biden, 100-fold better. Not only that, but war has been almost completely been mitigated. There's an air of peace in the world again. Transgender, we love them and we pray for them, but it's really just it's a tough situation. Like, I respect them and I respect their decision, but at the same time, I don't agree with it. But you've got to understand, they're less than 3% of the population. And everything in our culture with the Democrats is catering to illegal aliens, LGBTQ, all of it. The trans, we're catering to the 2%. And we're saying it's for everyone, but we're really just after those people. And it's just like 98% of America has voted. Donald Trump's the victor. And so the big beautiful bill is not gonna halt his progress at all. In fact, that was the engine needed to make the vehicle run for Trump, and now it's in law, so that's great. More good things are coming from that. But anyway, that's what's going on right now. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like content like this, staying up to date with stuff like this, go ahead and subscribe, like the video, and leave me down a comment below. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Peace.